Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I know that we've covered false and spurious DMCA claims on this channel quite a bit, so believe me when I say that this is one of, if not the most idiotic reasons I've ever heard of for a false DMCA strike. Now, the video footage on your screen is from a Twitch livestream done by GeePM, in which he played through this game and others. The VOD of this stream was, as is normal for many streamers, uploaded to YouTube. Now, the game being played is called Mystery Dorm 3, and it is a simple RPG Maker title that is a free game over on GameJolt. The game footage currently on your screen, courtesy of GeePM, was provided to me so I could gain a better understanding of the circumstances surrounding the DMCA takedown that this YouTube video received at the hands of the game's developer, Muhd Adib. You see, there are a lot of reasons in which a DMCA takedown could be justified and valid, and I wanted to make certain that it wasn't just a simple case of a YouTuber and their audience failing to understand how and why their footage wasn't fair use. It's happened plenty of times, and not all DMCA takedowns are bad. Now, sometimes, in fact quite often, they are perfectly justified. So obviously I wanted to make sure of what I was talking about in this instance, as I did have quite a few people asking me to look into this situation that GeePM found himself in. And the footage of the game is pretty typical live stream footage that one might expect from a Twitch streamer. He engages in commentary about the game itself, he interacts with his audience, and he pokes fun at the game without really ripping into it. He tries to keep the mood light and entertaining, and that's really nothing out of the ordinary at all. Now, honestly, I couldn't find anything within the video footage that would instigate any of the normal reasons we've seen for developers and asset flippers to file DMCA takedowns in the past. There was nothing that would overtly antagonize the developer, and this person isn't attempting to dupe anyone or really engage in any shady behavior at all. The game itself is free on GameJolt, like I said, so definitely not a scam of any kind. And there was nothing here that would instigate the takedown, so I decided to reach out to the developer directly in order to try to find out what in the world was going on and why he would do this. Now, the answer? Because GeePM didn't play his game all the way through. That's it. Just the simple fact that GeePM didn't finish his game made him feel that this made his game look bad, and so he decided to abuse the DMCA takedown system on YouTube. Well, I'm going to let Muhd Adib in on a little something. You see, if you feel like someone is making your game look bad just by the virtue of them not having played through it in its entirety, then it's not them making your game look bad, it's you making your game look bad. Now, I've done my fair share of RPG Maker bashing in the past, but that doesn't mean that the stories told within them can't be well done. And just because a story is told through text and 25-year-old graphics doesn't mean it can't have an impact. However, in the case of Mystery Dorm 3, from what I've seen of the game, and yes, I have played some of it myself, that really isn't the case. The story is as simple and meaningless as the gameplay, and if this game wasn't a free GameJolt title, I would probably be ripping it to shreds. The developer is not natively an English speaker, and the English translation of the game clearly reflects that, but when we're dealing with a free GameJolt RPG Maker title, expectations are not going to be very high to begin with, and his playthrough was far more fair to the game than someone like myself would have been. And guess what? I'm not going to finish the game either. Frankly, the game itself hasn't earned that much attention from me. It's bland and generic and ultimately uninteresting, but even though the levels of expectation are rather low considering the game's circumstances, the simple fact that this game's developers saw fit to issue a DMCA takedown strike on a YouTuber in this fashion shows a level of childish petulance and defensiveness that frankly means this developer is not ready on an intellectual level, nor is he emotionally equipped to deal with what others might think of his work. You see, criticism is part of the industry. Seeing others play your game, seeing their reaction to what they're presented with, and seeing others professionally critique your game is a part of the process. People who are potential customers of yours rely on Let's Plays, live streams, and reviews to provide them with information about the game, its mechanics, its positive features, if any, and its issues, if any. This does not require that a person play your game in its entirety, and while you may think that casts your game in a bad light, that is your own fault. If there is a vertical slice or segment of your game, whether it be a small part or a large part, that makes your game look bad, that means the failure is yours as the game's developer, not the content creator who presented that portion of your game. It is as inappropriate as it is unethical for you to file a spurious DMCA strike on his channel just for the simple fact that you didn't like how your free RPG Maker game looked. You want it to not look bad? Then do better. There was nothing about the video segment in question that I saw that would warrant a DMCA strike, and the simple fact that this developer flat out admitted that he only did so because the game wasn't played all the way through is simply mind-boggling. He didn't do it out of any form of legitimate concern that his copyright was being infringed in any way. He did it purely out of an emotional response that is ultimately born out of the simple fact that there are obviously portions of his own game that he doesn't like. That is not how the DMCA works. That is not what it was designed for. It is not a weapon to cudgel others over the head with at your whim in spite of what this developer and others might think. It is a legal process that you are openly agreeing to under penalty of perjury, and in this case, GeePM is having his channel suffer potential damage due to this developer deciding to openly flaunt the law and ignore the fact that fair use even exists simply to assuage his own feelings, which is just a little bit pathetic when you think about it. So go give GeePM a look. I'll put a link to his channel down below. Who knows, maybe this incident might open some of you up to finding a new streamer and YouTuber that you might enjoy. And if the developer of Mystery Dorm 3 is considering issuing a DMCA strike on this video for not showcasing his game in its entirety, I would seriously reconsider. It won't end well for you if you continue to violate copyright law in order to protect your feelings. And as always, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.